Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales, service, and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene. Hey everybody, I'm Luca Paris and
I'm Cindy Anshutz from Cindy's Table.
I'm a lot louder than you. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me some time.
Hey, if you don't know, we're on a culinary journey through Paleo. I made that rhyme. Did you hear that?
I did.
I'm good like that. Hey, what we're going to do is Paleo. If you don't know what it is, here's the expert. She's going to tell us all about it. Cindy's going to drive us through this culinary journey with your hometown, not hometown, but family dishes.
Family dishes.
Yeah? And then a couple of switches, right?
A couple of switches.
You're going to make bolognese like your grandmother made?
I'm going to make my grandmother's bolognese, but we're going to, instead of making pasta, we're going to use vegetables.
We're going to do vegetables as pasta.
Yes.
We'll do that too. We're going to cook together. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to learn about paleo and what that means, and you're going to learn about it also. We have pork chops from a local pork producer. We have the meats also from them. We're going to be wrapping things in prosciutto. I mean, it's going to be a blast. And maybe there's, a trick or two along the way you can learn. So, Cindy, you ready for this?
I am.
All right, your culinary journey starts now. Welcome back to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca Paris, and
I'm Cindy.
You do get louder.
You do.
You just, by the end of the show, you'll be screaming.
I will be.
Okay. So what are we making today, Cindy?
Well, we're going to start by making a bolognese.
Okay.
And this recipe is from my grandmother, and it will be in my cookbook that's coming out this summer.
That's right. You have a cookbook.
I do have a cookbook.
You rock.
I do.
You're my first cookbook author on the show.
Really?
Yeah, I'm honored.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I know it is.
So this is my grandmother's recipe, and we're going to start by making that.
Okay. So let's do that.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
You're
go.
going to cut up peppers. I'm going to cut up onions and garlic, right?
Yes.
All right. So when you talk about growing up with an Italian family, and your Italian grandmother and her recipes, what are some of the things you remember most about cooking in the kitchen?
The best part about cooking in the kitchen was being with her in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like that was just, I couldn't wait to be in the kitchen with her. But the best part was making the sauce.
Is it?
The sauce, because there were fresh tomatoes from my grandfather's garden.
Right.
And we just had so much fun and making meatballs and lasagna and...
So it's kind of funny. We grew up in the same kind of setup. The thing is, in my family, I was the best eater in the family.
Oh, you were?
I turned out to be the chef. How did that happen? But that's it. I remember Sunday afternoons where we used to go and she'd be making the sauce.
Yep.
And we would steal a dunk with the bread inside.
That's what we did too. We used to hover over the stove with the bread. So by the time we ate dinner, we're like, I'm not really hungry.
You were stuffed, yeah. But you still had to eat because if you didn't, she'd be like, what, you don't like my food?
Oh, yes.
Right? Did you get that too?
Oh, but I'm like that now with my kids. If they don't eat, oh, you don't like it? What's wrong with it?
Yeah,
oh,
well, it's the Italian guilt you have.
It is.
You're going to be the same way.
That never goes away.
Exactly. I actually hear it when I don't finish a full plate of food, and my grandmother's in the back of my head going, what's the matter? You didn't like it? I was like, no, I loved it. So I'm chopping up some garlic in a kind of a rough chop.
Yep.
You're chopping up peppers. How much more do you want this chopped?
That's perfect.
All right.
And I'm going to get the stove going.
All right, you get that on.
And I'll put some olive oil in the
Sounds
bottom of the
good.
pan.
You got the oil over there?
I do.
So you like my kitchen?
I love your kitchen.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a great kitchen.
I enjoy working here. This is, we just have a blast here. So this is, it's funny. What we're doing is pretty much what Italian families used to do growing up all the time, where they got together Sundays and the ladies. It was honestly, it was mostly the ladies that did all the cooking. And I actually felt a little bit left out. I mean, that's why I went in and I ate all the time, because they had a great life in there. They had a lot of great food all the time. They had some great stories they were always telling. And the guys were just grumpy on the outside.
Well, my grandfather was always out in the garden.
Yeah.
And he actually built a hut for himself in the garden.
So he could get away?
So he would just go take a rest out there because we didn't want anybody in the kitchen.
Really?
Yes.
So you'd kick him out of there.
So we would yell outside, and he knew he can come out of his hut.
Nice. All right, so we're chopping away.
Yep, I'm going to start putting the peppers in.
Whatever you need in there. So the thing about Bolognese, I mean, when I've done this on my show, there's so many renditions of it, and everybody's is the best. You know, everybody's grandmother's. So when someone asks me that, you know, do you think it's the best one you'll ever see? I go, you know what? Mine is always the second best to anybody's mom or grandmother.
Oh yes,
you know,
absolutely.
so this is going to be the best one I ever had.
This will be the best you've ever had. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I know. I've learned. You want more onion than that, or
well,
is
you know
that
how
good?
the Italians cook? We cook with love.
Right.
So that is our secret ingredient.
Exactly. So do you need more onions? Or
No,
you're
that's
good?
perfect. So let's get that right in the pan.
Onion. All right. Oh, you want it in there? Oh, I have to actually do work? I thought you were going to do everything.
So we'll just let these saute to get softer. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper in there.
Garlic now too?
Yes.
All right. So there's garlic. We got garlic, peppers, and onions.
We do.
Clean up over here.
Some salt and pepper.
And then you have this pork here, pork and beef combination, right?
Yes. So I have my beef there is from Buckley Beef. It's a grass-fed farm in New York.
Okay.
And I have from Hilltown. It's a local farm in Western Massachusetts.
Nice.
So we'll put some beef and some pork right into.
Now, when you do Bolognese, do you generally use 3 different types or 2, or it doesn't matter?
Sometimes I'll add ground veal.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll cook it in there, and I just cook it for a really long time.
Awesome.
So I let it sit for hours and hours.
And then it just gets all this flavor and, like you said, love, right?
It does. Lots of love. Lots of love.
So while you're cooking that down, you know what I'll do is I'll start our stuffing, because we're also doing a stuffed pork chop today.
Yes.
We're going to stuff pork chop with
ground pork.
more pork.
More pork.
And then what are we going to wrap it with?
Oh, we're going to wrap it with some prosciutto.
And which is?
Which is pork.
We're going to do triple pork. So let me go over here and get the pork stuffing. So my job today was actually to take some of the pork that we got from the farm, and I'm going to make basically a little stuffing out of it. I'm taking some Cubanelle peppers that you had brought in.
Yes.
And I'm just going to cut those down and chop those up a little bit.
I love Cubanelle peppers.
You like these, right? Yeah.
Love them.
You ever stuff them?
I do. I have this great recipe where I stuff them with beef, pork, and I shred zucchini, summer squash, and carrot, and I add that into the mix.
So while that's cooking up, this is what I want to do. I'm going to start cutting up the Cubanelle peppers, right? And let me look at the camera so I don't look down and up. I'll start cutting up the Cubanelle peppers. I'll make the stuffing for this. The vegetables will cook down. We'll get the ground beef in there, brown it, and then we'll start making our Bolognese?
Yes.
Sounds great. You know what? We have a lot more going on. Please don't go away, because you're going to love where this culinary journey takes you. And don't forget, we're going to talk about paleo. See you in a culinary minute. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. I'm here with
Cindy.
You're getting there. We're gonna get you to a plateau in a little bit. So we have the meat in there, right?
I'm browning the meat.
Browning the meat.
Yep.
What else is going on in the pan?
I have everything. The vegetables are cooking down. I have the pork browning and the beef browning.
Perfect.
So we're doing good.
Awesome. And now I'm making up the stuffing. We took some of that pork.
Yep.
I have pieces of fennel, so I had fennel from the fennel bulb that I chopped up, some rosemary, and then what else did I use? Some onion? No.
No, we didn't add onion.
What did I just put in here? Oh, the Cubanelle peppers.
Oh, the Cubanelle.
Yeah,
right.
thanks. Hey, you ever watch a Cosby show when you were a kid?
I did.
You remember when they changed wives in the middle of the season?
Yes.
Remember, and no one noticed?
Yes.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you see where that comes in? There you go.
Sometimes things change unexpectedly.
Exactly. All right. So I have my stuffing for the pork. And she came down the stairs, and then nothing else happened. And then we have our pork here. Now, what was the farm again was?
It's Hilltown Grazers.
Nice.
And they're in Western Massachusetts.
Awesome.
And they're a nice local farm that provided both the pork chops and the ground pork to us.
That's beautiful. And it's gorgeous pork chops.
It is. They are gorgeous.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pork chops. I'm going to cut a slit right into the pork chop where our stuffing is going to go. And we'll have just you see that?
Exactly.
Nice little slit.
Yeah,
perfect for
nice.
the more pork to go inside of it. I think this is a little decadent. So while I'm doing this, talk to me about paleo. I mean, we hear about it. It's around, and it's starting to be this big thing, but it's been
growing.
around forever, right?
It has been around forever. It started with our ancestors.
Okay.
And paleo.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. Paleo goes with Paleolithic.
Okay.
That's the full term.
All right.
And it's basically how the cavemen ate, how our ancestors ate. So growing the vegetables off the land and catching the wild.
Okay.
protein.
So we have to go out and catch food?
You have to go out and catch it, yes. Or you can go to local farms.
Thank you for that, because I don't know if I can catch my own
No,
food.
in modern times, we have local farms now that
So
we can.
it's about eating off the land, but there are some things that aren't in a paleo diet.
Right, like dairy, grains, things like that you can't have in the
Right.
paleo diet.
So, and this is something you got involved with, and
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I learned about the paleo diet, and both my husband and I were suffering with high cholesterol.
okay,
And it wasn't our diet, it's genetics.
okay,
But there were things in our diet that we did need to change, and I heard about the paleo diet, and my husband said, I'm not doing a diet. So I started cooking paleo.
right,
But there's so many great ways to cook paleo with fresh herbs and
Right.
in different other techniques that we have in cooking now, that's how we eat now, and it's been 2 years.
that's incredible.
And to us, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle.
Right.
And-
Now, when you talk about paleo, for people who are gluten-free, this is perfect.
It's perfect, people who have diabetes, celiac, or just, want to shed a few pounds.
Right.
So it's really a great diet
Why
to
did you
follow.
look at me like that when you said that?
I didn't look at you anyway. I
You
did
looked at
not.
me, you know, shed a few
No,
pounds.
I didn't go shed a few pounds.
But although I need to, but that's good.
I didn't say
So,
that.
so you're really not taking stuff away from your diet. It's a matter. It's just switching off where you're putting
It
your
really
emphasis
isn't.
on.
And you
right?
know when you eat a bagel or a big bowl of pasta, sometimes you're like, oh, I just feel so full.
Yeah.
So now you don't have that feeling anymore because everything you eat is good for you. You just eat until you're full.
That's a great life.
It's great.
That's an awesome life. How would your grandmother feel about you not eating pasta though?
She probably wouldn't be happy because I think every meal in our house included pasta and Italian bread.
So that's got to be a tough switch over anyway. No,
You know, it was tough, but with the modern times, there's so many techniques that we have now with cooking.
Right.
So what we're going to do today with the Bolognese, instead of pasta, we're going to make some beautiful pappardelle with our zucchini and
Right.
summer squash.
And that'll be a blast.
That's going to be so much fun.
Cool. So now you're browned up over there?
Yeah, it's browned up, so now I'm going to add some sauce.
Okay.
So I like crushed tomatoes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes in here and just get that going. And then I'm going to spice it up a little bit with some herbs, and I'm going to start with some thyme. And I eyeball everything. My grandmother never measured. So
Yeah,
maybe a
yeah.
teaspoon, I don't know, until it looks nice.
Yeah, until it's all there that you want it to
Yeah,
be.
it's like that's good enough for me.
That's why Italian grandmother recipes never got handed down.
Well, that's been the hardest part creating my cookbook, is because I don't know how much I use. I just put it in the pan, and when it looks good, it tastes good. We're always tasting our food.
Yeah, and that's the best part of it. And we talked about
It
that.
is, we
That's the
did talk
best
about
part is
that.
tasting.
And now I just added some basil, and now I have some parsley. I mean, you can add oregano, you can add,
Whatever your
anything
Italian spices that you like.
sometimes I'll add a bay leaf in here, some red wine, so you can really add anything to this.
Now, wines and that kind of stuff are okay on paleo?
Well, it's not okay, but on occasion,
It doesn't
we do have some white wine and some white recipes and some red wine. It's just,
So if people were looking to learn more about the paleo diet, you have a website also, right?
I do. My website is Cindy's Table.
Okay.
And I have, and my Facebook page is Entertaining Paleo.
Right.
And I started Entertaining Paleo because I love to entertain.
Right.
And every holiday and event is at my house. And many people say to me, well, when I entertain, do I need to have chips and salsa? And there's so many alternatives. So I decided, well, let's make a book for entertaining.
Cucumber and avocado.
Cucumber and avocado. Oh, you saw that video,
I
didn't
watch
you?
your videos.
You
Yes,
did,
no, I
yeah.
cyberstalked you. Yes, very often. So while you're doing that, I'll start getting our pork chops ready.
Okay, I'm going to add some paste into.
So you got some tomato paste in there.
Tomato
it's gonna give
paste.
it a little more body to it.
Right.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. So while she's doing that, in this pan, I had a pan heating up, so it's smoking hot. We got the oil, and then what I'm going to do is the prosciutto wrapped around the pork chop. Just going to give. I mean, there's a lot of nice salty notes to it in
yeah.
there. We have a lot of flavor from the pork inside. And when you talk about the difference between a pork chop that's locally grown and something that you buy from the store, it already comes with a ton of flavor. Right?
Oh, it does. I mean, those pork chops just have so much flavor, and they're so fresh.
Right.
You can tell.
So what we're going to do is we're going to sear these off. We're going to let that cook down. We need some time to let that cook, right?
We do, yes. I'm going to cover it and
cover it
let it
up.
cook for a little while.
When we come back, we're going to pop these in the oven. And we have cubanelle peppers that we're going to throw in
We're
the
going to
grill.
grill.
What else we got going on?
And we have to make our pappardelle.
We got to make our pappardelle. All right. You know what? You cannot go away because this gets better and better by the second. These will be flipped over and then popped in the oven, and we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So don't go away. We'll be right back. everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca Paris, and
I'm Cindy.
you're cracking me up. All right, so what do we got going on? You got a Bolognese working.
I have my Bolognese working, and next I'm going to saute up some Cubanella peppers.
All right, so you get those on there.
Okay.
I have our stuffed in pork, wrapped with pork, and just finished off with a little bit of love. We have an incredible pork chop going on here. We're going to stick this in the oven, let that finish up in there, and we'll let that finish. And then on the top, what I'm going to do here is do a couple of things. So you're doing the peppers. So the Cubanella peppers, basically just put them on the grill pan.
And just let them go.
Let them go, let them hang out, and they'll have fun.
Let them hang out, and they get nice and soft and
nice.
Delicious.
Now in this pan here, we want to finish up with a sauce too, right?
We do, yes.
Okay. So that's just a little bit of lemon juice.
Lemon juice, some chicken broth.
And some chicken broth. Let's make sure that stays on. Let's see, this is our chicken broth and a little lemon juice. We'll just kind of deglaze the bottom of that pan.
That's what all the delicious.
Right, all that flavor is that we're going to add for the sauce. So we have that in there. Hey, do I have one? Can I throw this in there?
Oh, yes.
Let's just throw rosemary in there. We'll let it cook in there.
Gives us a nice flavor.
Bring that down. So here, I have some garlic that I'm going to use in a second, but I'm going to take a potato peeler. Yeah, a peeler, and just make our pasta noodles. And if you have celiac, this is great for you to do with noodles, right? And for paleo, it's important to not be using any pasta. So.
And even if you don't have celiac or diabetes, just to make something more nutritious or just all the different colors.
Oh, yeah.
Just to add that flavor and colors to your dish.
And by doing this, what I do is I get all this great vegetable. I mean, just talk about the nutrients you get in the vegetables and just incredible.
Oh, yes.
And, there's a lot of people that have all these different colored pasta dishes.
Oh, I know.
They get tomato pasta or a flavored pasta. And you have it right here. It has everything you want there.
Oh, yes.
So we're making little wide noodles, pappardelle, or even the size of tagliatelle, depending on how heavy you press.
Right.
The heavier you press, the bigger your noodle's going to be.
Right.
And you want to use the skin. And this is great not only as a pasta substitute, but it's also great as just a vegetable, just doing it as a vegetable on your plate too. So that's
and just so everybody knows, we only go up into the seeds. We actually don't use the seeds.
Right. And you know what I do with the rest of this? I make a vegetable stock. Are you supposed to do that in paleo?
You can. Oh, of course.
Okay,
I make my own stocks, both chicken stock, and I actually made you some homemade tomato sauce.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I'm a lucky. This show is full of surprises. Let me just tell you.
It has been full of surprises today, hasn't it?
It definitely has. All right. So the other thing I'm going to add to it is carrots, and I'm going to cut them up thin, so we really don't have to cook them that much.
Right.
But it adds tons of color to what we're doing.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
You have those peppers that kind of grilling away.
They're going. Yeah, they'll take a few minutes.
All right. So do you think we're ready for that first course? Think we'll be able to do the Bolognese? You think we got it up enough, or?
The Bolognese looks good. I think we could.
All right, because I think you and I should try this first course while our pork is finishing.
Okay.
And what I'm doing here, I just need a little bit of oil for the pan.
Okay.
You want to go right in there? Good amount of oil because we're going to get all that.
Good amount, okay.
Yeah. Olive oil's okay?
Olive oil's okay.
Can I have a little more?
And we also use coconut oil as well.
That's good. That's too much now.
Is that too much?
Yeah.
You'll have to use it.
What I'm going to do is put in some garlic into our olive oil. Now,
really infuse it.
Infuse the olive oil. Now, when I was growing up, my father used to tell me, the garlic should be almost like a ghost in there. The flavor should be there, but you should never bite into it.
Exactly.
So he never liked to bite into it, so we always had to have bigger chunks, sometimes sliced really thin, or he'd leave it whole, get it to brown, and then take it right out. So I'm just going to put some in, because I love to bite into a roasted garlic like that.
Yeah, I do too.
And then basically that's all we have to do is make sure that gets nice and hot. Look at that sauce. That sauce is coming down
so
nice
good,
too.
yes.
And then we just toss this in here. You need a pair of tongs, and then this is going to be our pasta. So let's do this. Why don't we'll finish that sauce when we get back.
Okay.
The Cubanella peppers will be done when we get back.
Okay.
We'll pop this. Oh, this is going to be great. With the oil. Good. You don't really even have to cook it that much, right?
No, just real quick.
Real quick. And we have the garlic. We have that. We'll put a little salt and pepper on this. We'll plate everything. And then you have one more surprise for me?
I do have one more surprise.
This is getting crazy. All right. Don't go away, because the surprises just keep happening at A Culinary Journey. Don't go away. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey, where the fun and the party just keeps going on. How are we doing, Cindy?
We're doing great.
Yeah? So this is our pasta. You see that?
That looks
You like it?
delicious.
Just even that by itself would be fine,
Oh my
right?
God, it smells so good in here.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because of this beautiful Bolognese sauce.
The Bolognese did come out nice.
And we just pour that right over the top.
Oh, that looks so good.
And so no cheese because we don't do dairy.
We're not going to have any cheese.
Right, which is okay because we have a lot of flavor in here.
We have a ton of flavor.
Look at, that is an incredible dish.
And you really don't need any cheese.
You don't. It's all right there. Tons of flavor. Let's check out what we got. So you have something to make here.
I do. What I wanted to make for you today is a margarita. But this is what we'll call a NorCal margarita. So it doesn't have any of the mix in it, so there's no sugar or anything.
So wait. That's on the paleo diet?
Well, it is. There's a long story to this margarita.
Because I'm thinking this diet gets better and better. I have pork stuffed with pork, wrapped with pork. I have a Bolognese sauce that's absolutely incredible.
Right.
And I can have a margarita.
And we're going to have a margarita with this delicious meal.
Okay.
Yes. But wait till you see how I make this.
Okay, let's do that.
So we have tequila, but this is
Right.
all natural agave tequila. So it's actually good for us.
Exactly. That's what I was saying the whole time.
So I would say about an ounce per drink.
Right.
But we're Italian, we eyeball everything.
So it's about 3 ounces?
You know, I'm just going to pour it until it looks good.
Oh, I'm glad the show's almost over.
And next I'm going to add some salsa. I have lime salsa. You can add lemon salsa, plain salsa.
So you don't have any sweetener in there.
No.
So that's...
And then I'm going to add some lime juice. Fresh lime juice.
This thing gets better and better.
Better and better. And I'm just going to squeeze an entire lime into each drink.
You do that. I'm going to go get us some things to cut our food with. So you have lime juice, a seltzer,
And the tequila.
and the tequila, which is probably the most important ingredient.
It is the most important.
And don't go cheap on the tequila.
Never go cheap on the tequila.
Okay.
You always want to have good tequila.
Boy, this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle.
This is a great lifestyle.
You really are good. The whole lime.
The whole lime, yeah.
There's another one going in. Did we need that one?
And we didn't-
I hope not, because that one left us. So while she's cutting up the garnish for this, which I can't wait, the pork chops are finished. They were stuffed with the stuffed with ground pork,
They were.
and then wrapped with pork. I'm going to actually try it at the same
I'm
time.
going to just put some Celtic sea salt
Sea salt.
into the margarita just to give it a little.
You do that. I think maybe this is a better way to start. Hey,
think so, too.
I had a pleasure.
I had a great time.
I mean, I had a great time. It was my pleasure. I might have had too many of these already. We hope you had a good time. So give away your email address again. One more
Well,
time.
my website is cindystable.com.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes.
Not your email address.
They don't need
'cause
my email.
They'll find it there.
You can get my email address from my website.
cindystable.com. Try it out. Great paleo recipes and a whole lot of fun. And thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for
Best
having
of
me.
luck to you.
This is great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Cheers, everyone. I'll see you next time on A Culinary Journey. Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales service and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene.